Yes, people, a very happy morning to all of you. So, guys, we are doing this chapter on bills of exchange, and in the last class, we started our discussion on accommodation of bill. So, let's do a quick recap of what is accommodation of bill. So, guys, in accommodation of bill, one person draws a bill on another person. He will send a bill of exchange to another person, wherein there is no genuine transaction. No genuine transaction means what? A is not selling any goods to B, nor A is providing any services to B, but still he is preparing a bill of exchange and sending it to B, asking B to make the payment on a future date, to which A does acceptance. So A accepts this bills of exchange. Now, why B is accepting this is because there are three primary motives. First, motive first motive is to help A with some money. All of you know that a bill of exchange, if it is being produced to the bank, it is getting discounted through bank, and you can get the money advance, so you can basically have a finance for yourself. So here A would have been that person who would have gone to multiple places asking for finance, asking for loan, but nobody provided him that adequate loan, or nobody provided him loan at all. So he figured out saying that if I execute a bill of exchange and if someone else is accepting it, so this bill can be discounted. This bill can be discounted with bank, and he can get this money from bank. So now what happens is A draws a bill of exchange to B and requests B to accept it and give it back. And this bill, he goes to the bank and gets the bill discounted, so he will get some money for himself. Now, on the due date, on the maturity date, or one day before the maturity date, A will give this money to B so that we can make the payment to the banker. Otherwise, if A does not give money to B, guys, if A does not give money to B, how will B give money to the bank? Because B is not enjoying anything. He is not taking any goods nor services. So why will he pay? So he has accepted to make the payment because he wanted to help A. So therefore, on the due date, A has to give the money back to B so that B can in turn make the payment to bank. So this concept is called as accommodation of bill. So accommodation of bill is basically, it is a bill of exchange, which is a document in writing drawn by one person. So here who is drawing? A is drawing. Acceptance by another person. Accepted by another person. What is the intention behind it? The intention is to help. Help whom? Now there are three cases. Here the help is done only to A. Only to A. So one person is drawing. First case, accommodation by the drawer. A is drawing the bill on B with the motto to help A only. Second motto, bill is drawn by the drawer, accommodation of the drawer and the drawing. That is, accommodation means what? Help. Here the help is done for both drawer and the drawing, which means what? A will draw the bill to B. Only one person is drawing the bill, but the amount what you get from the bank, A will also enjoy, B will also enjoy. So both of them will enjoy. In first case, what happens? A is drawing the bill on B, only A is enjoying that money. On the due date, A will make this payment to B, B will make the payment to banker. In case 2, what happens? A is only still drawing the bill. But whatever amount we are getting from bank, that money is being split between B and A. On the due date, what will happen? B will make the payment to bank. From his pocket, whatever the money he has enjoyed. Now, whatever money A has enjoyed, on the due date, A will have to make this payment to B, so that A's payment, which is gone to B, and B's money, which already B is enjoying, both put together, he will make the payment to bank. Case 3, accommodation means help. Help is done where the bill is drawn on each party. That is, A is drawing bill on B, B is drawing bill on A. Both are drawing bill on each other, and on the due date, respective people make the payment to the respective banks. So for all these three cases, we saw independent question. We saw illustration 1, 2, 3, which was a basic question for all these three cases. With the intention to help one person, that is A alone, or both the parties A and B, without a genuine business transaction. Without a genuine business transaction means what? When a bill of exchange is executed, there is no goods or service that is being exchanged. If a good or services is exchanged, that is called as a genuine business transaction. So here there is no genuine business transaction. So this concept is called as accommodation of bill. Okay, not okay. Offline people, everyone, hello, online people, yes or no?
Yes,
Fantastic. Now, guys, in the last class, we discussed the concept of bill of exchange, accommodation of bill. And then illustration 9, we had worked out. Am I right? This is 8. Yes, we discussed the concept of accommodation of bill, and then we worked out illustration 10. Gorgi. Gorgi. Yeah, Gorgi. Thank you. Now we'll be heading towards the next question. So illustration 9, you saw the level, how it was difficult. To ensure that you have a proper base, we did 3 illustration and then we did illustration 9. Now we'll be heading towards illustration 10. Illustration 10 says that for mutual accommodation of X and Y, for mutual accommodation of X and Y, mutual accommodation of X and Y, on 1st April 2019, X drew a 4-month bill. X drew a 4-month bill on Y for 4,000 rupees. Guys, it says mutual accommodation. Mutual accommodation means help is given to both parties. Now, who is drawing on whom? The question, when we read completely, you'll get a clarity. As of now, this is a question where both of them want some money. X also wants some money, Y also wants some money. So they are making the use of bills of exchange concept so that they can get the same discounted from the bank. So it's a mutual. Mutual means for both X and Y. Accommodation means mutual help. So X wants to help Y, Y wants to help X. So for that reason, X drew a 4-month bill. So credit period is 4 months and the value of the bill is 4,000 rupees. Y returned the bill after acceptance on the same day. Y returned the bill after acceptance on the same day. Okay. X discounts the bill from his banker at 6% per annum. Okay, 6% per annum is the interest, or you can say discounting charges for how many months? 6% is for 12 months. So we have to proportionally calculate for 4 months. Very good. Online people not responding. So X discounts the bill from his banker at 6% per annum and remits 50% of the proceeds. 50% means half of the money what he got discounted, he is giving it to whom? Y. Which means what? The discounting money, whatever you got, no, or whatever the money you got it after discounting, 50% X is enjoying, 50% Y is enjoying. So can I say it is a mutual help? It is a help done for both people. So with this money, X is also getting benefited, Y is also getting benefited. Now, till this, no problem, sir. Till this, very simple, no problem. Problem says, now, on the due date, X is unable to send the amount due to Y. Guys, X has got the complete money from the banker. 50% already given on the date of discounting of bill. So balance 50%, which X is enjoying, he has to give this money to the Y on due date or not. 50% already given to Y now. Balance 50% X has to give when on the due date. So if Y is receiving total 100% money, he can give it to whom? Banker. But on the due date, X is unable to send the amount due. Now Y is upset. Therefore, Y draws the bill on X for 7,000 rupees, which is accepted by X. So now Y will draw the bill on X. He will get it discounted from the bank, and that money he will pay to the first bank. Y is drawing a bill on X. X is accepting giving back. So Y will take this new bill to another bank. From that, he will get the money and give it to the old bank. Like that, he will safeguard himself. So now Y is drawing the bill on X also. So each of them are drawing bill on each other. Y discount the bill for 6,600 and sends 1,300 to X. Now, why is he sending 1,300 to X? We'll understand when we do the question. Before the bill is due for payment, X becomes insolvent. Which bill are they talking about? First bill or second bill? Second bill. Second bill, who accepted? X accepted. On the due date, who is supposed to make the payment? X is supposed to make the payment to the banker. If X is not making the payment to banker will recover his money from Y. So X has become insolvent. Do you think X can make payment to the new banker, second banker? No. Later, 25 paise in a rupee was received from his estate. 25 paise in a rupee is received. In a rupee, how many paise are there? Sir, in a rupee, 100 paise are there. In this 100 paise, how much paise is recoverable? 25. So 25 out of 100. If I multiply with 100, how much percentage of money is recoverable? So some money X has to pay me, no? From that, only 25% is receivable. Baki 75% is a bad debt. Now, whatever question I read or I've read now, if you have understood something, well and good. If you have not understood anything, I'm still happy because I'm going to do a diagram now. With that diagram, you will get a clarity. Now, people, X, Y. Just keep doing the diagram along with me and understand the diagram. Guys, X is drawing a bill. X is drawing a bill on Y. First one, bill of exchange drawn. Second, bill of exchange accepted. So Y is accepting and giving this bill of exchange back to X. So as of now, guys, who is the holder of the bill? X is the holder of the bill. Very good. Now what is he doing, guys? X drew a 4-month bill on Y for 4,000 rupees. So amount involved is 4,000. Amount involved is 4,000. Y returned the bill after acceptance on the same date. X is discounting this bill from his banker at 6% per annum. Now banker is coming in between. So here it is banker. So here the third transaction is bill of exchange worth 4,000 is discounted. Okay, bill of exchange 4,000 is discounted. Tell me one thing, guys. 6% per annum is the interest rate. So what will be the proportionate discounting charges for this 4,000 rupees? Sir, 4,000 is the amount involved into 6 by 100. So this will give me the discounting charges for the entire year, which means had I used this money for the entire year, then full 6% is fine. But did we use this money from the banker for entire year? No, we used it only for 4 months. So what is my discounting charges? 80. Okay. So guys, 4,000 worth of bill banker is receiving and banker will pay me 4,000 minus 80, which is 3,920. So 3,920 rupees is what we are receiving. I'll do the calculation here. 4,000 rupees is what you have paid. In that, 3,920 is what you received. So what is the discounting charges? 80. Now this 3,920, guys, is the amount to be split between X and Y. In what percentage? What form? 50 percentage. Now, this 50% is given here now, guys. Sometimes they will tell that it is 50 percentage. Sometimes they will tell that half of the money is being transferred. So they can use percentage, they can use fraction. Sometimes they might not even give this percentage and fraction. They'll give you the absolute value of the amount that is being transferred. So illustration 11, when I do, you'll get different variety. 12 is a different variety. So in 10th question, what happened? The percentage is given. In one question, you will see fraction is given. In one question, they'll not neither give percentage nor they'll give fraction. They'll give the absolute amount, what has been transferred. What amount has been transferred to Y, that amount they'll give. So using that amount, you have to actually calculate how much percentage has been transferred. So now 50%, guys. 3920 ka 50% is how much? Sorry? 1960. So out of this 3920, can I say X is transferring to Y 1960? Hello, online people, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now tell me something. This 80 rupees, what will you do? This 80 rupees, since it is discounted by X, will this 80 rupees completely be borne by X only? Same ratio. Sir, X and Y, in what ratio they have enjoyed the money? In the same ratio, in same proportion, they have to split the expenses also. If you ask X to bear the entire expenses, how is it fair? When both of them are enjoying money, then expense also both of them have to split. So X and Y will split the amount in the same ratio, which is 40, 40, 50, 50. Okay, not okay? Online people, okay, not okay?
Okay, sir.
Fantastic. Now, guys, on the due date, so this is third transaction. On the due date, Y is supposed, sorry, no, wait, before that, on the due date, X is supposed to make payment to Y Which payment X is supposed to make to Y? Balance 1960. Please understand. Okay, let's go in order. Guys, first one is bill of exchange drawn. Second is bill of exchange accepted. Third is bill of exchange discounted. Whatever money is got, the fourth step, this 1960, X will give to Y. So X is giving 1960 to Y. Along with that, 40 rupees discounting charges also Y has to bear. Okay, not okay. Now, this is happening on the date of discounting. Okay. On the due date, what should happen? X should give balance 1960 to Y. Yes or no? Because Y will have to make the payment of this money to the banker. Y has to make the payment of full 4,000 rupees to the banker. So he should have money, no, boss. He should have money, no. So he got already 50% in the beginning itself at the time of discounting. So balance 50%, not 1960. It should be balance 2,000 rupees. He has to get it from whom? Balance 50% he has to get from whom? X. So that he will have 100% money on the due date. And this 100% money, the sixth transaction, he has to pay banker. He has to pay banker. Why he has to pay banker? But what happened? X did not give this money at all. So now, guys, what did Y do? Now, Y drew a bill on X. Now, what happened? Y has drawn a bill on X. Y has drawn a bill of 7,000, which is accepted by X. So, bill of exchange drawn 7,000, to which X is accepting it. Accepted bill of exchange. Now, what is Y doing? Y is discounting this with another bank. Let's suppose this is Axis Bank. This is HDFC Bank. So Y is giving this bill worth 7,000 and receiving some amount of money. So how much is Y receiving from the banker? Y is receiving 6,600. So Y is receiving, guys, 6,600, which means out of 7,000, guys, 6,600 is received. 6,600 is received. So what is balance? 400 is the discounting charges. So now the thing is, here they have not mentioned for this 7,000 rupees what is the proportionate ratio they have to split. They have not given, though they have told that 1,300 is sent to X, but this is not the ratio of proportion. The ratio of proportion they have to explicitly tell, saying that the ratio of proportion is so much percentage, something like that. They have to give hint. If nothing is given, in the absence of information, the ratio which was earlier distributed, in the same ratio it has to be distributed. So therefore, X will enjoy 50%, Y should enjoy 50%. Same way, charges also, guys. X, Y 50-50 means how much? 200. So X is supposed to receive 3,300. Y is supposed to keep 3,300 with him. But Y is not giving 3,300 to X. Y is giving only 1,300 to X. Y is giving 1,300 to X. So how much there is a shortfall? 2,000 rupees. 2,000 rupees is a shortfall. Why is he not giving? Because from X we had to receive earlier. No, he has not given that money. So we deducted and gave the balance. So now you don't have to sit and make all the calculation. You don't have to sit and identify how much is the balance. We are doing a journal entry in a way that automatically everything will be taken care. But I'll also teach you how to prepare, X and Y's account in a columnar format, not using ledger, in a columnar format. And that is important to have a control to see whether the respective X account and Y account is nullified or not. So that also I'll teach you. Now what happened is, people, X accepted the bill and gave it back to Y. Y discounted with the new banker. He got the money. He kept some amount of money. He gave few amount to the X. So fourth transaction, paid to X. How much? 1,300 plus discounting charges of 200. Okay. Yes or no? On the due date, what is Y supposed to do? On the due date, Y is supposed to make the payment, some amount of payment to X, so that in return X can make the payment to banker. But what happened? In meantime, X had become bankrupt. X had become bankrupt. He became insolvent. Insolvent means what? Pauper, no money left. In such a case, do you think X will make the payment to HDFC Bank? No. So HDFC Bank on the second due date had gone to X for recovering money. But by the time X became bankrupt. So now what will happen? Now, don't you think that HDFC would have recovered this money from whom? 7,000 rupees he would have recovered from Y. Now, Y in turn, he will try to attack and recover from whom? X. So Y would want to recover this money from whom? X. How do you find the level of question? How do you find this level of question? Online people. Challenging? Or did you imagine? I mean, do you imagine now why I did those three basic questions? When I did those three basic questions, did you feel a pinch? So that was intended to put a concept in your mind. But in your ICAI module, in your examination, these kind of questions only will be asked. So if you know the basics properly, this will not be a challenge. So this diagram looks so complicated. Why? Because we are taking X and Y both into consideration. That's why this problem is happening. But now when we account, guys, we'll account separately for X, separately for Y. So when you do it individually, you'll have a control. These type of questions, guys, you have to practice a lot. That is the only way, that is the only solution to get a command over it. The more number of times you practice, more such questions you work out, it will become more and more clear. The look and face what you're having now, same face, same look I had 4 years ago when I started teaching foundation. Because for me, this bills of exchange was new concept. I did my CA, CPT in 2009. And that too, we had all MCQ. So we never learned this. Point number one. And this, there is no chance that you can learn in inter and final. So I didn't even learn in inter nor in final. In CBSE, I teach. There is no concept of bill of exchange of accommodation concept there also. So I had to take a fresh I had to take, and I had to sit and work out. The way today you're working out, 4 years ago, I like just like you. I sat with the textbook with all my hair like this. Because nobody to explain me. I was reading this question 10 times, working so many questions. N number of questions I worked out. Same questions like 10 times I would have worked out. Because when you keep on working, automatically you'll get more and more clarity. When you keep on working with full concentration, your attention is there on that question. Slowly, you'll try to understand, this is what you're trying to do. So I'm telling you my experience. When I can get such a clarity with a good amount of practice, then why can't you get it? Okay? Now let's do this question, people. Let's do this question.
Sir.
Yes, people.
Sir, one doubt.
Yes, boss.
Sir, when X become insolvent,
yes.
For what amount he's become insolvent, sir? For 7,000?
No, he's become insolvent, fully gone. Now, what is court done is, court has given an order telling that from his estate, from his property, 25 paise in a rupees recovered, which means, okay, now let me tell you what is the process of this. See what happens. Have you all seen this movie of Rajnikant, Shivaji? Shivaji movie, where this hero was, working in abroad. One fine day, he comes to India with the intention to open Shivaji Foundation. Basically, he wanted to do a lot of social services. So he opened a lot of colleges, medical colleges, other colleges, engineering colleges, a lot of hospitals and such things like that. And unfortunately, those politicians did not, allow him to, do his work smoothly. So he started bribing people here and there, just to go with the system and get things done. But still somehow, those corrupt people had, put a checkpoint on him. And at one point, it so happened that he had taken a lot of loan to do this project. And since the project could not get executed, he couldn't pay the loan on time. So what happened? He couldn't pay the loan on time. So they dragged him to the court. And in the court, they ordered that you have to sell all the property of Shivaji, that is Rajnikant. And from that, whatever money is recoverable, you have to pay to the creditors or the loan providers or whoever it is. And in that, if you remember one particular scene where Rajnikant was taking all his suitcase and coming out with the family, he was wearing a Rolex watch. See, even that Rolex watch was removed. Thank God they left him with clothes. Which means when insolvency happens, guys, every single, even your pen will be taken from you. You will not be given anything. That is called as insolvency. So now who is ordering? Who is ordering this to recover the money? And that person who said that, sir, your Rolex watch also is in my list. Give that Rolex watch. Who was that guy? He was a official receiver. Official receiver is a person who is appointed by the court to look after the recovery proceedings. So court will appoint a government official called as official receiver. This guy, he will make a list of all the assets of the person who's defaulted the loan. From that, he will try to dispose all the assets and settle all the loan. Because there has to be one person, no, who's to be given responsibility of selling the assets, and whatever money is coming, he has to give it to multiple people. So that responsibility is given to the official receiver. You will come across this word official receiver in the CA Foundation, CA Inter, and CA Final at so many places. So official receiver is basically a person who is appointed by the court to look after the recovery from the assets and distribute to the people. So here, guys, X is Shivaji. From some Shivaji's property, whatever the money is sold, the official receiver has to give it to the creditor or the liability holders. So for X, can I say Y is the liability holder? Y is the creditor. So whatever money the official receiver is recovering, he is giving it to whom? Different people. In that, one such person is Y. And Y is getting how much? Out of 100 rupees, he is getting only 25 paise, which means whatever money he has to receive from X, in that only 25% is received. Rest all is a bad debt. Now this is the concept. Now clear? Now whether he'll be arrested or not, that will depend on the way how he cooperates things or not. Normally they don't arrest him if he's cooperating. If he doesn't cooperate and if he doesn't do things, then he might get arrested. Now Vijay Malik is different case. If I start in that, the accommodation bill will be behind. So let's not go into all that. Now coming back, guys, they are asking the entries in books of X. They are asking the entries in books of X only. So let's do it, people. Let's do it. So in these two diagram, guys, you have to identify those transactions that is happening with X, and we need to capture that only. So let's do it in the books of X. In the books of X, please write the format: date, particulars, LF, debit rupees, credit rupees. Guys, here this is the first diagram. Please tell me what is the first transaction. Can I say X drew bill on Y? For drawing bill, do we record any entry? No. So no entry for this. Bill is accepted by Y. Bill is accepted by Y. So bill is coming back to whom? Bill is coming back to X. So X is receiver of the bill. So when was the bill drawn? 1/4/2019. Wonderful. So 1/4/2019 people. For X, asset is coming in. Asset is coming in what form? It is coming in form of bills receivable. So bills receivable account debit. How much value? 4,000. Now this is asset that is coming from Y. Now in future, do we need to make this payment to Y or not required? We need to pay. So we are Gajini. We will forget. So to remember to make payment to somebody in future, we have to create liability. Like Gajini writes down all over the body. No, we cannot write all over the body. Correct? No. So obviously, we have to record in one place where it is readable for everyone. So that is the place called as balance sheet. So in balance sheet on liability side, we make a note of all those items where we have to make the payment to the party in the future. So here we have to make payment to Y in future. So we have to create a liability to Y account 4,000 rupees. So bills receivable to Y. Any problem in the first entry, people? Online people? Hello?
No, sir.
Now coming back to the diagram. Now, what did X do, guys? X discounted this bill. X discounted this bill with the banker. So can we write a discounting entry? What date is discounted? Same day? Okay. So since no other date is given, same day. Discounting means what? The asset which is currently, the bill which is currently in hands of X, is giving it to banker. Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Credit what goes out. Bills receivable is going out. So two bills receivable. Any problem? Now this bill what you are giving, in return what are you getting? So banker is giving money. So banker will not give in cash, he'll give in form of bank money only. So money will come to your bank account only. So debit what comes in, debit the receiver, bank account, debit. How much money? We calculated already. 3920. So you can now here, guys, see this diagram is not compulsory. I advise you to do it. But for these calculations are there, no, though it is in rough column, the person will not understand. So what you can do is you can make the calculation here itself. Discounting charges is equal to 4,000 into 6% into 4 by 12, which is 80. So you can just make a small, that is below narration. You write narration here, below narration you show the calculation then and there. So the person will understand how did you derive at 80 rupees. So bank account debit is 3920. So out of 4,000, you gave 4,000 worth of asset. In return, you got only 3920. So what is the shortfall? 80 rupees. So it's a charge for you. It is a discounting charge. Discounting charges account debit to bills receivable. Now, guys, all of you will have a pencil in your hand. Very, very lightly, you will take a pencil and try to close the accounts. Sir, bills receivable account is opened here and bills receivable account is closed here. Any problem? But Y account is still open. Y account is still open. Now, a question like this, if it comes in exam, my advice to all of you is that in rough column, please do this also. X book. In the book of X, what are we preparing? Y account. Now here, guys, I'm going to prepare Y's ledger, but not in the T-shape format, in the statement format. Why I'm preparing this? To have a control. Why control? How control? You'll understand when I complete this question. Okay. So now, guys, if I see here, Y is in debit or credit now? Y is in credit now. So can I say Y account 4,000 rupees is credit positive? So whenever you record any journal entry for Y, either you debit Y or credit Y, you have to come and immediately record in the Y's account in the statement format. This is the statement format. Statement format. Okay. Guys, 2 entries I have recorded. Do you have any problem? Please, all of you write this also. In books of X, Y's account. Please do this also. This is to have a control. This is to have a control. What control? You'll understand in next few minutes. Sir, in this case, shouldn't we take Y account already opened? Previously, like, should be assumed. I didn't get it, Kana. Come again.
So before you said that if we are starting only with bills receivable to Y, then Y account is already open previously, right? So that should not come in this.
Should come where? I didn't get your question, Ma. This is Y account
So like
4,000.
Y account debit to sales, that is not here.
Y account debit to sales will not come. Why? Because we have not sold goods to Y. No, this is accommodation of bill. There is no genuine transaction that is flowing in, flowing out.
Okay, sir.
You understood the concept of accommodation of bill properly?
Yes, sir.
See, normal bill of exchange transaction only goods is being sold and return the bill of exchange is executed. Here there is no genuine transaction. No, there's no supply of goods and services. So why will Y to sales comes?
Okay, sir.
Are you getting this concept? I'm really surprised you're asking this question. Guys, you understood no, why we didn't do Y to sales offline people? Logic is clear, no? Okay. Now you're clear, Vikashni? Who asked this question? Vikashni, right? Okay. Now, people, let's go in the order of the question. Now, guys, the bill is discounted. Who is currently having the total money of 3920? X is having. So, in that, half of the money and half of the charges, we have to give it to whom? Y. So, now, guys, who has recorded the 100% charges? When you recorded 80 rupees, this 80 rupees debit means X is bearing the entire 80 rupees charges. But is X allowed or is X supposed to bear full 80? No. So we have to reverse 40. Discounting charges, when you record it, you debit it. Reverse panamodi, we have to credit. And we are giving one amount to whom? A portion of the amount to Y. So can I say this is happening on which date? Nothing is mentioned, same date. So guys, listen to me very carefully. Don't do anything. Listen to me very carefully. 1/4/2019. X is giving money to whom? Y. So from X's bank account, money is going out. Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So if I write to bank, do you have any problem? To bank, how much money is going out? Sir, half of the money, 1960. 1960. Then, sir, discounting charges is currently in debit. I need to reverse it. So I'm putting two discounting charges, 40 rupees in credit. The moment I put 2DC 40 rupees credit, guys, so here 80 is positive debit, here 40 is negative credit. So automatically balance 40 is the discounting charges. Who will bear? X will bear. If you open the discounting ledger, the balance carried on of the discounting ledger will be 40 in X's books of accounts. Now what will I debit? Who is receiving this money? Y. So we have to close Y's account to that extent. No, guys, mind you, here you have credited Y. Here you have credited Y, promising that Y, I'll make this payment to you in future. You're promising that Y, I'll make this 4,000 payment in future. Now, out of 4,000 rupees, you have made this 2,000 rupees payment to Y already today, now. You have made a payment of 2,000 rupees to Y. So Y account debit to bank to DC. Any problem in this? Guys, as per this entry, you promised Y that I'll make 4,000 payment in future. Today itself, you have made half the payment to the extent of 2,000 rupees. 1960 in form of cash, 40 rupees in form of discounting charges. Ultimately, this 2,000 rupees money belongs to whom? Why? It belongs to whom? Why? So any problem in this question, please? Hello? Anybody is not able to understand any part, please ask me now. Now, guys, what did I tell you? Whenever you come across Y, so what will you do? You have to record this in the ledger also. So, guys, here Y account is debited by 2,000. Y account debited by 2,000. So if credit is positive, debit is negative, which means what? Guys, we were originally supposed to pay Y 4,000 rupees. X to pay Y. X to pay Y 4,000 rupees. In that, X paid Y 2,000 rupees. What is the balance to be paid? So balance is 2,000 rupees to be paid. Credit balance. Balance to be paid by X to Y. Is this ledger clear or not clear? I'm not doing the ledger in the T-shaped format. I'm doing in the statement format. Is this ledger clear or not clear? Online people, hello. I'm going very slowly.
It's
I'm not
clear,
getting
sir.
responses. Okay. Now. So fourth transaction, guys, the payment that has been given to Y is captured. So fifth transaction should be what? Fifth transaction is on the due date. On the due date, X should give the balance 50%, balance 2,000 to Y, so that Y can make the payment to the banker. But did this happen? Did this happen? No, sir. This did not happen. Y would have made this payment to banker. That is a different case. So we are not recording in Y's book. So this also I'll not capture in the X book. Correct, no? So first diagram over. First diagram over. Coming to second diagram. Second diagram, what happened? Y has drawn the bill on X, to which X is accepting. Now we are recording in whose books of accounts? X's books of account. So X is now accepting the bill that I'll make the payment in future. So this bill for X is receivable or payable? Payable. So on which date? On due date, X is unable to send the amount due, and therefore Y draws the bill of 7,000. So on the due date, the new bill has been drawn. So guys, 1st April 2019 is the original bill date, plus 4 months plus 3 grace days. Please tell me, what is the due date? Sir, April bill is drawn. So May, June, July, August. So 1st of August plus 3 grace days is 4th of August. So now guys, the fourth entry on 4th of August. 4th of August 2019, sir, X is accepting the bill. So for him, it is becoming now bills payable. So 2 bills payable, how much? 7,000 rupees. Now this money, guys, X is promised to pay. But did X enjoy 7,000 worth of goods and services? Yes, here X is accepting that, okay, I'll make the payment of 7,000 in future. But if X makes the payment 7,000 in future, for that, did he enjoy any goods and services? No. Which means the 7,000 rupees, can I say, Y has to give back to X so that X can make the payment to HDFC Bank. So can I say X has to receive this money from whom? Y now. So can I say Y account debit? Y account debit 7,000 rupees. Y account debit 7,000 rupees. So now X has to receive from Y 7,000 rupees. Now please understand, Guys, this 2000 rupees, can I say X has to pay to Y? And next 7000 rupees, Y has to pay to X. So can I say I can minus it? Minus 7000 debit. So now what is the net balance? See, X has to pay Y 2000. Y has to pay X 7000. I have to pay you 2000. You have to pay me 7000. I have to pay you 2. You have to pay me 7. So what will I tell? Minus and give me the balance 5. You have to pay me 7. No. I'll tell that in the 2 what I have to give you, you minus that and give me the balance. So here balance is how much? 5000 debit balance. Now who has to pay whom this? Guys, 2000 is to be paid by X to Y and 7000 is Y to pay to X. Y has to pay to X. So balance 5000 is what? Y has to pay to X. Which means, can I say X has to receive? Guys, can I say X has to receive? In other words, X has to receive from Y. X has to receive. We are recording in X books of account. Anything that we have to receive in future is asset. Asset carries what balance? Debit balance. Hence, debit balance. Correct, no? See, plus 2000 was CR. Minus 7000 is DR. So out of CR, DR which is high? DR is high. So balance will be DR only, no? Correct? So balance 5000 rupees, who has to receive from whom? Who has to receive? X has to receive. X has to receive from whom? Y. That's why it's a debit balance. In X's books of account, debit balance means we have to receive. Till this, any problem? Now, guys, imagine this Y account. If I don't prepare, you will not know what is the balance. And if you don't know what the balance, you will not be able to complete the entire ledger. That's why this account simultaneously I'm doing it. Now, people, hello? Online people, are you able to follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Doubt.
Yes, Kana.
Sir, X has to pay to Y, no, sir?
X has to pay to Y 2000 rupees. Which
No,
is
sir.
here. Now,
Y is accepting the bill, no, sir? No,
Y
no,
is
X is accepting the bill.
accepting the bill. Yeah, this stage you're telling about.
Yes, sir. X is accepting the bill. And then X, for X, it is bills payable, no, sir?
For X it is bill payable, correct?
Then X has to pay the amount to Y.
Wait. You're getting confused. Now, guys, Y is drawn bill on X. X is accepted the bill and given. So X is accepting and giving this bill. So what happened now? Okay, fine. Now, guys, Y is drawing this bill on X. X is accepting and giving the bill back to Y. So Y will discount with HDFC Bank and get this money. So in future, Y has to pay to X so that X can pay this money back to banker. Now understand this, Kana. This 7,000 rupees, bills payable. Your point is correct, sir. The 7,000 rupees, who has to pay to whom? X has to give it to Y, correct?
Yes, sir.
Other than bills payable, which means what? On the due date, who is the holder of the bill? X is the bills payable person. So he has to make the payment to the holder of the bill.
Yes, sir.
But for the 7,000 rupees, did X enjoy anything? If X is enjoying anything, then I will record purchase account debit to bills payable. If X is enjoying some goods from Y, Gurupati, so purchase you will debit, no. But did you enjoy anything? Did X enjoy anything?
No, sir.
Which means, can I say he is trying to help Y now? So Y has to give this money back to us in future.
Yes, sir.
So Y has to pay the 7,000 to whom now?
X.
X in future. So here we are talking about Y paying X to future. I'm talking about the debit aspect of the journal entry. You got confused with the credit aspect of the journal entry. Are you able to follow?
Yes.
You thought that this X has to pay to Y. Then 7,000, how are you saying it is receivable? You are focusing on this. My focus is on this. Why? Because I'm preparing Y's account, not bills payable account. Now here, Kanna, your point would have been right. When instead of Y's account, if I'm preparing bills payable account, then what you said is right.
Yes.
Puridana solradhe?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now coming back, people. So X is accepted the bill. For acceptance, we have recorded the journal entry. Any problem? Sir, no problem. Now what happens, guys? Y will go to the banker and discount this with the banker. So here this is a transaction between whom? Y and HDFC Bank. Will I record in the books of X?
No.
Not at all. Then what happens? Sir, after the Y is discounting this with HDFC Bank, the amount is with whom? Amount is with Y. Now in that, Y is going to transfer to X. Y is going to give 1,300 to X and transfer 200 rupees of expense to X. So can I say Y is making payment to X? Guys, initially when the bill is getting discounted by Y, when Y is discounting the bill, there is a discounting charge of 400 rupees. This 400 rupees, originally discounting charges, who will record? Originally, Y will record. So when Y is discounting this bill with the bank, Y will record bank account debit 6,600, discounting charges account debit 400, to bills receivable 7,000 rupees. But is Y supposed to bear the entire 4,000 rupees? Sorry, 400 rupees? No. In that, half of expense he has to shift it to whom? X. So if the expense is shifted on X, so can I say now X is bearing that expenditure? So we are recording in whose books? X's books of accounts. And we are receiving money from Y. So let's understand this. Sir, on 4/8, X is receiving money from whom? Y, in form of bank. So bank account debit. How much money is X receiving? 1,300 only is receiving. He is receiving 1,300 very clearly. Very clearly it is given in the question that Y discounts the bill of 6,600 and sends 1,300 only to X. So in the bank account, 1,300 only has come. How much discounting charges is X supposed to bear? Since the question is silent, we assume that whatever the discounting charges X and Y has borne in the previous bill, the same proportion will continue. In the previous bill, X and Y distributed the amount and the discounting charges equally, 50-50. So here also 50-50 only. So X has to bear 200 rupees of discounting charges. So discounting charges account debit, how much? 200. Now who is paying money to whom? Y is making the payment to X. So X is receiving the money. So X is receiving the money. So can I say Y is the giver of the payment? So it will be 2Y. 2Y how much? 1,500. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. So Y is the giver of this money. Sir, bank account mein paisa who is giving? Y. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. We have to receive from Y how much? Some 5,000 rupees. Correct, no? Yes, we are supposed to receive. Y has to pay to X. Y has to pay to X, or X has to receive from Y. How much? 5,000 rupees. X has to receive 5,000 from Y. So Y has given us how much? Out of 5,000, how much is given? Sir, 1,500 is given by Y to X. So X has received 1,500 from Y. So here Y is being credited. So can I come back to my statement, guys? Credit 1,500 positive. This is what X received from Y. How much? 1,500. So how much balance X has to receive? Sir, balance 3,500 rupees. Balance amount X has to receive from Y. Any problem? Guys, this statement format, are you able to understand? Hello, online people?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now till this, let's match if the answer is matching or not matching. Guys, first entry, bills receivable to Y. Let's see if it is matching or not matching. Sir, bills receivable to Y. What is my second entry? Bank discounting charges to bills receivable 3920, 80 and 4,000. Bank discounting charges to bills receivable 3920, 80 and 4,000. Matching so far. Then what happened? We gave this money to Y. So Y account debit, 2 cash, 2 discount. Y account debit, 2 bank, 2 discount. 2 bank, 2 discount. Cash or bank, whatever is fine. If you're using bank, then use bank everywhere. Don't confuse between cash and bank. Then what happened, people? Y account to bills payable. We are accepting a new bill, no? Y account to bills payable. B means X. X is accepting a new bill. Then what happened? Bank account debit, discounting account debit to Y, 1,300, 200 and 1,500. Same thing. Bank discounting charges to Y. So far everything is comfortable.
For this one, instead of doing that calculation, we should divide it in the same proportion divided by 50%.
Yes. Now you may ask a question, sir. Since only 1,300 is given, that is out of 6,600, only 1,300 is given. So into 100, if you do, you'll get one proportion, percentage. So why can't we distribute this percentage of 400 into this percentage? You'll ask. Adavade, please take your calculator. 6,600 is the total money that this fellow has received. Y has received from the bank as discounting. In that is giving only 1,300 to X. So 1,300 divided by 6,600 into 100 means how much percentage? 19.69 percentage. So what will you say? Sir, only when 19.69 percentage is transferred, when 19% of money only transferred, then X should bear only 19% charge. No. If X is enjoying only 19% amount, then he has to bear only 19% charges. But why are you failing to understand that his actual amount that he has to receive is not 1,300? Actually, he is supposed to receive, X is supposed to receive the higher amount. From that, we had deducted some amount which he has to pay us originally, and then only we transferred the remaining. But actually, the amount that is belonging to X is how much? This much. So this 3,300 upon 6,600 originally is how much percentage? 50%. That's why charges is 50%. I'll now explain in Tamil. Now I've done in English. Now I'll tell in Tamil. ஒரு விஷயம் நல்லா புரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. நீங்க 1,300 தான் பணம் கொடுத்தீங்க. யாருக்கு? எக்ஸுக்கு. அப்ப நீங்க என்ன சொல்லுவீங்க? சார் 6,600 ரூபாயில 1,300 தான் எக்ஸ் என்ஜாய் பண்ணான். அதாவது 19.0% தான் அவன் என்ஜாய் பண்ணான். அப்போனா இந்த சார்ஜஸும் நீங்க வந்து 19% தான் அவனுக்கு சார்ஜ் பண்ணோம் நீங்க சொல்லுவீங்க. ஆனா இந்த 1,300 கொடுத்தது வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா வந்து ஒரிஜினல் அமௌண்ட் கிடையாது. ஆக்சுவலி நம்ம வந்து எக்ஸுக்கு கொடுக்க வேண்டிய அமௌண்ட் 3,300. பட் ஏன் 3,300 கொடுக்கல? அவன் அதுக்கு முன்னாடி அந்த பழைய பில்லுக்கு அவன் பைசா கொடுக்க வேண்டியது. அவன் நமக்கு பைசா கொடுக்கல. அதுக்கு தான் நம்ம இந்த அமௌண்ட் மைனஸ் பண்ணி பேலன்ஸை கொடுக்குறோம். ஸோ ஒரிஜினல் அமௌண்ட் என்ன கொடுக்க வேண்டியது இருக்கு எக்ஸுக்கு? 3,300. அப்ப 3,300 வந்து 6,600 பங்கு போட்டா 50% வருதா? இந்த 50% தான் நம்ம சார்ஜஸ் பிரியும். கான்செப்ட் தெளிவா இருக்கா? இப்ப புரியுதா? ஹலோ? Yeah, so when the question does not give for the second bill, for the new bill is there, no? For the second bill, if they don't give the proportion percentage, we have to presume that whatever the percentage originally was agreed between X and Y, same percentage is continued. No, don't take 1,300 as a base and do the calculation. That will go wrong. So that concept only I explained now. Am I clear, online people? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Guys, are you all clear with this? Now, guys, Y has discounted the money with HDFC Bank and Y has handed over this money to X. This entry also we recorded, people, correct? No? This 1,300 entry, what we received from Y, we recorded, correct? Fourth entry done. What is the fifth entry? On the due date, Y has to pay the balance money to X so that X can give this money to whom? Bank, and the game is over. But the problem is that on the due date, X has become insolvent, which means that this money X did not pay to HDFC Bank. The second bill money X did not pay to HDFC Bank. So what will HDFC Bank do? He will take X to the court and recover money. So हाँ बोल रही है. Do you think HDFC Bank on the due date, if he does not receive the money from the acceptance of the bill, he will go in court and fight? What will he do? He will recover from Y. So HDFC went to Y's house, he caught hold of his neck and he's like, give me my money back. He will not do like that. He will directly take from the bank account. Because what I told you something. When Y went to HDFC Bank for discounting, bank would have asked you to sign a contract. In that contract, very clearly it is mentioned that on the due date, if this gentleman doesn't pay me the money, I will take the money from your bank account. So now, guys, money is gone from whose bank account? Y's bank account. But originally, this money has to be paid by whom? X. So Y has to pay this money to bank. Now Y will try to recover this money from whom? X. Guys, now Y will try to recover this money from whom? X. So what is the next entry? Y will try to recover this money from X, which means X has to pay this money to whom now? Y. On the due date, X is supposed to make the payment to the banker. But since he became bankrupt, banker did not wait to get the money from the court. He took the money directly from Y. Now Y has to wait and get slowly money from X from the official receiver. So now guys, X has to pass one entry. What entry? He has to now make the payment to whom? Y. So he has to cancel the bills payable. Guys, the bills payable here, credit means what? This is the money that X has to pay to whom? Banker. Banker, bills payable. Bills payable means what? The final money is paid to the whom? Holder of the bill. Kana bills payable na kadasi bill yaar hold பண்றானோ அவன் கையில அந்த amount கொடுக்கணும். So this bills payable when I'm crediting, this is the money to be paid to whom? The holder of the bill. So on the due date, who's the holder of the bill? Bank. Did you make the payment to bank? No. So on the due date, the validity of the bill is lost. So we have to cancel this bill. Correct? No. This bills payable credit means it is reminding us to make the payment to banker. Did we make the payment? No. So can I say this bills payable I need to reverse? So bills payable account debit. Bills payable account debit. To whom? Now this money I don't have to pay to the banker. Since I don't have to pay to the banker, I reversed it. So now I have to make this payment to whom? Y. So to Y. So this is on which date? Not 4th of August. No. Date is to be calculated. Please tell me, when was the second bill drawn? 4th of August. For how many months? It's not given how many months? Okay, here guys, Y discounts the bill with bank. For how many months the bill is drawn, it is not given. Y draws the bill of 7,000, which is duly accepted. Period is not given. Imagine if period is given, the second bill is for 3 months. If they give that like that, then with this you will add 3 months plus 3 grace days and calculate the due date. And this is actually happening on the due date. This is happening on the due date of second bill. Because on the due date of second bill only, the validity of the bill is expiring, no boss. So that's when I'll cancel it, no. So bills payable account debit to Y. What is the value of the bill now? 7,000. Second bill value 7,000 rupees. So 7,000. Now guys, you credited Y 7,000. Crediting Y 7,000 means you have to pay this money to whom? Y in future. So now guys, credit 7,000 positive. This means X has to pay Y in future. So 3,500 X has to receive. This 7,000 X has to pay. X has to receive 3,500. X has to pay 7,000. So what is the difference amount that we have to pay? Positive 3,500. Debit or credit balance? Credit balance. So credit balance means liability. Liability means X has to pay to Y. So X has to pay Y 3,500 rupees. X has to pay to Y 3,500 rupees. So now guys, let's see this entry also. Bills payable to Y. Bills payable to Y. So this is what? Acceptance of Y dishonored because of insolvency. So this entry is passed when the bill is dishonored. When the bill is dishonored, on the due date, if X is not making the payment, the bill payable become null and void. So we have to cancel the liability. And now this money has to be paid to whom? Y. This is not a new entry, guys. This is the basic entry. What we learned, the 4 cases and 4 cases, no? 4 cases of honorment, 4 cases of dishonorment. This is that entry. This is not a new entry. That's why I told you the basics are important. The basics are not strong. This you will not understand. Now what happens, guys? Now what happens? If you come to the diagram now. So Y has made the payment to HDFC Bank. Now all the game is over. Now all the game is over. Slowly, Y will file a case against X in the court. And he wants to receive. Finally, guys, how much money Y has to receive from X? 3,500 net. That is bill 1, bill 2. Adjust pannunga. After bill 1, bill 2, everything is adjusted. Net, finally, X has to pay 3,500 to Y, which means Y has to receive 3,500 from X. So in net, bill 1, bill 2, after every adjustment, final value to be settled is 3,500. Now for this 3,500 rupees, Y will fight with X in the court. Now court is ordered what? Now court is ordered telling that, sir, 25 paise in a rupee 100 paise. So out of 100 paise, 25%, 25 paise is recoverable. So if I multiply with 100, the percentage is how much? 25%, which means out of this 3,500, 25% is recoverable, and balance 75% is a bad debt. It's a loss for Y. So 3,500 ka 25% is how much? 875. And this is
2625.
2625. Now let's do this, guys. So now the court is saying that 25% money is received, which means you are receiving 875. Am I right? So on the date of receipt of money, when the money is received, who is sorry, this is payment, no? So X is books of account. So X will pay. So X, when X pays this money, 875, is it? 875. So can I say to bank? To bank 875. Am I right? What happened to the balance? Now, guys, we have to receive this money. Sorry, we have to pay this money to Y. We have to pay this money to Y, and finally, they're telling in full and final settlement, only 25% is received, balance 75% is a loss. So now here, guys, loss is for whom? Bad debt is for whom? Y. So bad debt is the ledger that will open in Y's account. For X, what will I do? I'll open a new account called as deficiency account. So now, guys, in Y's ledger, Y is having what? Credit balance. Sorry, Y's account is a credit balance. In X's books of account, 3,500 is a credit balance. Now I'm going to close the account. So which means I need to close this credit by giving a debit. Who will I give debit? Y, I'll give a debit. So now, guys, Y account debit 3,500. Correct? No? Because, guys, we are doing a settlement entry. 3,500 rupees we have to receive from Y. Now in that only 875 is received. Balance we are not going to receive. So which means we have to settle and close Y's account. No, we cannot keep the Y's account pending. Guys, when you keep the Y's account pending, when will you have the balance in the Y's account? If the person is going to make the payment or receive the payment in future, then balance will continue. Now, guys, after the court is saying that no, only 25 paise in rupees recovered, do you still expect X to pay the balance 75% in future? No. So we have to close Y's account. We have to close Y's account. So Y is currently having a credit balance. To close Y, I'm giving a debit 3,500. So I'm closing the account by making the payment of 875, and balance is how much? 2,625 is transferred to the deficiency account. So in the deficiency account, official result make a note that okay, X did not pay 2,625 to the Y. Like that, X did not make this payment to so and so person. X did not make the payment of so and so amount to so and so person. Like that, in the deficiency account, the official receipt will keep on accumulating the amount. So now, guys, Y account debit 3,500. Y account debit 3,500. Now come back here, guys. Come back here. I'm just erasing this. Y account debit 3,500 minus means the balance now should become 0. So, guys, at the end of this question, Y's ledger should have a 0 balance scattered and brought down, which means it has to get tallied. So to now tell me, guys, if I did not prepare this statement, guys, if you don't prepare this statement, how will you get a control? Because as long as bills receivable and bills payable is concerned, very simple. Sir, bills receivable is open here, closed here. Sir, bills payable is open here, bills payable is closed here. Very easy. But why? Look at the entry, guys. Y has come at so many places. You have recorded Y here. You have recorded Y here. You have recorded Y here. You have recorded Y here, here, and again here. So many times when you record Y in debit, credit, how will you have a control? So to have a control only, I've asked you to prepare this statement side by side to see at the end whether the account is getting 0 or not. Am I clear or not? This is definitely a complicated entry which will come only through practice. In my opinion, if you're understanding for this question, even if it is 5%, I'm happy. Out of 100%, if you understood this question for 5%, I'm happy. Because back in 95%, you'll understand every time you work out a question, every single question you work out, you'll get 5% clarity. Every single time you work out a question, 5% clarity. For example, if I do the next question, you'll get another 5% clarity. When I work out next question, more 5% clarity. When you guys sit and work out these 3 questions, 5 more times, more clarity. Are you able to follow? Now tell me, people. I will not ask this question if you understood. 100% you will not understand. But your understanding is 5%. So my question to all of you, 5%, are you having an understanding or not? Tell me, people, 5% understanding do you have or not on this topic? 5%, only 5%. What did I do, guys? First, I do this diagram. In this diagram, I am supposed to record everything from X's point of view. So I identified where and all X is dealing with whom. So X is dealing with Y, X is dealing with Axis Bank. Here X is dealing again with Y. So whatever the transaction is happening with X, only that I captured. Do you have any problem? If you know to draw this diagram, guys, doing the journal entry is not a problem. The only one place where you will struggle is the last 2 entries. Except last 2 entries, you'll be able to manage everything. So last 2 entry, you will understand when you keep on solving more and more questions. Online people, okay, not okay?
Okay, sir.
5% clarity is there or not there? 5%.
Yes, sir.
Can we do one more question? So let's take a quick break of 7 minutes. We'll come back and continue with the next question. Yes, people, welcome back to the break. So let's continue with illustration 11 now. Now, guys, illustration 11 says that, ICAI study module, illustration 11 says that X draws a bill of exchange on Y for 30,000 rupees on 1st April 2020. Is the dates matching with your textbooks? Question matching? Okay. So X draws on Y a bill of exchange for 30,000 on 1st April 2020 for 3 months. So guys, who is drawing bill on whom? X is drawing on Y.
X is
X is drawer, Y is drawing. X is the maker, Y is acceptor. What is the bill value? 30,000. What is the credit period?
3 months.
Very good. Y accepts the bill and sends it to X, who gets discounted for 28,800. Okay. Then X immediately remits 9,600 to Y. Some portion of it is remitting. Now in this question, if you see, X is remitting amount is given, but how much percentage is not given, fraction is not given. So if you see in the question number 10, he remits, that is X is remitting 50% of the proceeds to Y is given. If you take the 12th question, remits 1/3 of the amount to Sanjay. So in the 10th question, percentage is given. 12th question, 1/3 means fraction is given. But in 11th question, neither percentage is given nor fraction is given. So you have to derive the percentage and fraction. On the due date of the first bill, X is unable to remit the amount due, and therefore he is accepting a bill of 42,000 for a period of 3 months, which is discounted by Y, for 4,400. So the second bill value is 42,000, and the money what is receiving after discount is 40,100. So the difference is the discounting charges. So the 40,110, what value Y is having? Y in that sends 6740 to X. Before they mature to the bill, X becomes bankrupt, insolvent, pauper. His estate paying 50 paise in a rupee. 50 paise in a rupee means what? How much percentage is recoverable? So 50 paise out of 1 rupee. 1 rupee means 100 paise. Into 100 means percentage. If I calculate, it is 50%. So 50% of the final value is recoverable. Pass the journal entries in the books of both X and Y. Let's do it, people. So guys, X is drawing the bill on Y. Bill of exchange drawn for what value? 30,000 rupees. So who has accepted the bill? Y. So bill of exchange accepted by Y. So what is X doing with that? X is going to the banker X is going to the banker and getting it discounted. What is the bill value? Bill discount. Bill value is 30,000 rupees. In that, how much money is receiving? I'm just doing it here since I'm running short of space. 28,800 is the money received. What is the discounting charges? 1,200. But this two amount is to be split between X and Y. So how much is X getting? X is getting 9,600. Guys, X is getting 9,600. How much is Y getting? Sorry, Y is getting 9,600. Sorry. So X is giving the money to Y. So how much is Y getting? 9,600. Y is getting 9,600 out of how much? 28,800. So if I have to calculate 9,600 divided by 28,800 into 100, if you do, you'll get the percentage. How much percentage? 33.33 percentage. Can I say it is nothing but 1/3? 1/3 is given to Y. So how much is X keeping for himself? 2/3. So X is keeping 2/3 with himself, which is 66.67 percentage. So what is that value? What is that value? 28,800 minus 9,600. 19,200. Very good. Same way, guys. This is 1/3. This is 2/3. This is X. This is Y. So X will bear how much discounting charges? 2/3. Y will bear 1/3. So what is the amount? 1,200 into 2 by 3 is how much? 800. 400. So now, did you understand why did we do this fraction? Because only if you know the fraction, I will get to know that this discounting charges in what proportion I need to distribute. So here, 9,600 amount transferred is given. Using that as a base, I first calculated what? What is the proportionate percentage what they're bearing? So this fraction of percentage I applied on the discounting charges to identify the individual discounting charges. Online people, how many of you understood this or not understood this?
Understood, sir.
Very good. So now, guys, here the bank, we are giving the bill worth 30,000 to the banker, and in return, bank is paying me how much? In return, bank is paying me how much? 28,800. Now, what is happening? Fourth transaction. X is having 28,800. In that, he is giving 9,600 to Y. So can I say third transaction is X is paying 9,600 to Y along with the discounting charges 400. Total how much? 10,000 to Y. Am I right? Then what is supposed to happen? On the due date, fourth one, on due date, X has to pay balance how much? 20,000 to Y. So X is currently having 10,000 already. X is having 10,000 already. Now, in future, on the due date, X is supposed to pay 20,000 to Y. So totally Y will have how much? Totally Y will have how much? Y will have 30,000 rupees. So he'll make this payment to whom? On the due date, fifth transaction, pay to bank. Game over. But the problem is, this did not happen. This did not happen. Am I clear? So X has to pay some money to 20. So he couldn't pay the money, but he gave as a promise that in future I'll pay you money. So for that, he has accepted a bill payable. X has to pay 20,000, no, in form of cash or bank. He is not given in form of cash or bank. He is given in form of a bill payable. Payment can be made in three forms: cash payment, bank payment, bills payable payment. Guys, if I give a bills payable to somebody, is this as good as making payment only, no? So now what happens is, Y has drawn a bill on X. Y has drawn a bill on X. I'm giving some space below. Y has drawn the bill on X. For how much now? Bill of exchange, how much? 42,000 rupees, and to which X has accepted. Bill of exchange accepted, 42,000. So where X is supposed to make the payment of 20,000 rupees, instead of making 20,000 in form of cash and bank, X has agreed to make the payment in form of bills of exchange for 42,000 rupees for X's amount. X, if he gives 20,000 bill, more than sufficient, but he ended up giving 42,000 extra bill also he gave. So extra, how much promise he give? 22,000 that we have to recover from Y. Are you able to follow? So now what happens is that Y is having a bill receivable. Who's the holder of the bill now? Who's the holder of the second bill now? Y. So what will Y do? Go to the bank and get it discounted. So third here is bill discounted. So what is the bill value? 42,000 people. So what is the money that has been discounted? 40,110 rupees is discounted. 40,110 is discounted. So what is the discounting charges totally? 1,890. Very good. Online people, correct? No? Please confirm. Okay. I think few people are still drawing the diagram. Please draw the first diagram, then we'll go to the second diagram. I'll give the time. Please draw the diagram. If you want, you can just refer the board, but you draw the diagram as per your mind and compare with the whiteboard. So if you make any mistakes, you'll get to know. Because understanding of the diagram is very important. I'll give time, guys. There's no hurry. We'll take aram se and do it. No hurry. Please draw the first diagram. If you feel that in your notebook, you could not draw this diagram properly wherever required, you've done it roughly, if it is not understandable, don't worry, take a fresh note. Like once you finish this topic, take a fresh page. For question 10, this is the diagram. So one full page dedicate for question 10. Another page for question 11. Another for question 12. Like that, you draw a proper fresh diagram in your, clarity. Because this diagram is very important, guys. Maybe for basic questions, even if you don't draw the diagram, still you will be able to manage. But for these accommodation of bill without diagram, things will become difficult. Is this done? First one, all of you? Guys, online people, first diagram is done by all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, second
Yes,
diagram.
sir.
So this 4010, I need to break in some part. So what is the proportion? Have they given in the question in what proportion they are distributing this money? The proportion is not given. So the proportion what is originally agreed, in the same proportion will split. So x by xy. What is the proportion originally? 2 by 3, 1 by 3. 2 by 3, 1 by 3. So 1890, guys. Please break the amount and tell me what is the value. 1,260, 630. 1,260, 630. Now, here this value, please do it for your knowledge purpose. That's why I gave explanation in the last question also. I'll do it now again. Don't worry. Now, guys, now tell me how much is X supposed to receive? Sorry, how much is X supposed to pay to? Sorry, how much Y is supposed to pay to X? As per this 2/3. No. 40110 into 2 by 3 is how much? 26, 740. And this is 30,370. So Y is supposed to pay X 26, 740, but actually is paying how much? 6,740. 6,740. So he's paying a shortfall of how much? 20,000 rupees. There's a shortfall. Yes or no? Why 20,000 is a shortfall? Because in the previous bill, we were supposed to receive from X 20,000. In the previous bill, X was supposed to give 20. In the second bill, Y is supposed to give 26,740. So Y says that I have to give you so much. You have to give me so much. So I'll adjust this and give you balance 6,740. Now we understood. So now, if you take 6740 as a base, 6740 divide by 26,740 and try to multiply by 100 and get the percentage or fraction, it is not workable. It will become wrong. So that's why we told that whatever the fraction that is previously agreed in the bill 1, the same fraction will continue. Am I clear? Online people, am I clear or not clear? Please tell me.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
now, guys, the banker is going to give how much money to Y? Banker is going to give 40,110 to Y. Now, Y, what in turn he will do? He will give to X how much? 6,000. 6,740 plus discounting charges of 1,260 to X. Correct, no? And then later, Y has to pay the balance amount to X, which is how much? Some amount, balance. Y has to pay to X. So X will have 100% amount, and that amount X will pay to bank and game over. Sixth one is pay to bank, game over. But unfortunately, what happened is X became insolvent, which means what? X will not be able to make the payment to bank. So what would have happened? I'm just doing this calculation here, okay? 40110. So banker would have recovered this money from whom? Y. So Y paid how much? Seventh transaction. 42,000 rupees. Bank Y would have paid to banker. Now 8 transactions. What? Y is made this payment to banker, but in reality, is Y supposed to make the payment to banker? No. X is supposed to make the payment to banker, but bank will not go and fight with X in the court. No. So Y banker will make his job easy. He will take it from Y and go off. Now Y has to go and fight in court of laws, asking to recover from X. So now next step is Y has to receive from X. So X has to pay. X has, look at the arrow, from X it is going to Y. So X has to pay Y how much? Some amount. But whatever the balance amount is, full balance amount is not going to Y. In that, only 50% is recoverable. So whatever the X amount we have to receive, that is Y has to receive from X. In that, 50% only is receivable. So what is the balance 50%? It is a not receivable deficiency for X, and for Y it is a bad debt. For X it is deficiency because he could not pay it, and for Y it is a bad debt. Now for you to calculate this X amount, that account, what a statement format account which I prepared, no, that is important. Now can we do it? Please tell me guys if you have any difficulty in understanding the diagram. Diagram is very important, without which it's very difficult for me to crack the question. First diagram, second diagram, if you have any problem in understanding the diagram, the flow chart has to be very clear. One after the other. First this transaction, second this transaction, third this transaction. The flow of the event has to be very clear. Please tell me, are you clear with the flow or not? Abdul, flow is clear? Janardhan, Akash, all of you? Flow is clear? Kana, Danesh, online people, the flow is clear? Event after the event, which flow we have to go?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fantastic. Now we'll do the entry in the books of X first. In the books of X, date, particulars, debit rupees, credit rupees. Guys, the first transaction, okay? The first transaction. X is drawing a bill on Y. For this, will I record any journal entry? Online people keep responding, no? Only then
No,
I'll
sir.
okay. No. X is accepting, sorry, Y is accepting and giving this bill back. So can I say upon acceptance, both X and Y will record? Yes. So now we are
Yes.
recording in whose books? X. So X is receiving the bill. So what is the entry?
Bills receivable to Y.
Bills receivable account is getting debited. So X is going to get this money from Y in future. If X is the holder of the bill, till the end, till the date of maturity, Y will pay this money to whom? X. Y will make this payment to X. But does X really deserve this money? Is this a permanent money which X can keep it for himself? No. So why X has to pay this money to whom? Y. So I need to create a liability also. So to Y. How much is the bill value? 30,000. 30,000. Guys, are you clear with this thing? Bills receivable debit means what? This is the money that the Y has to pay to the holder of the bill. But this money which Y is paying to the holder of the bill, whoever is the holder, Y could be, X could be holder, bank could be holder, endorsee could be holder, anybody can be holder. So on the due date, whoever is the holder of the bill, Y has to make the payment. But is really Y has to make this payment? No, he has to receive this money from first whom? X. Y has accepted this bill because he wanted to help X. So on the due date, first X has to pay to Y so that Y can make the payment to the holder of the bill. So can I say we have to create a liability towards Y also? So bills receivable to Y. Is this clear or not clear? Hello?
Clear, sir.
Simultaneously, you are supposed to open Y's account. In books of X, Y's account. So guys, Y you have credited or debited here? 30,000 credit. This means what? From X's point of view, X has to pay Y. Yes or no? 30,000 rupees Y credit balance means X has to pay this to Y. Okay, not okay? Guys, okay, not okay? What is the
Okay,
date?
sir.
Guys, if you're not okay, you can say not okay. I can explain, not a problem. So 1,420. Now let's go with the next part. Now X, what will X do? X is discounting this with banker. So discounting entry, all of you know. So on 1/4/2020, bank account debit, discounting charges account debit to bills receivable. In bank, we are receiving 28,800. In bank, we are receiving 28,800. And discounting charges, originally we are recording 1,200 and 30,000 worth of bill is going out. So here, if you see, guys, bills receivable account is opened here. Bills receivable account is closed here. Okay, not okay? Okay, not okay? Hello?
Okay, sir.
Okay, now what is X doing? Is X keeping the entire money to himself or is he giving some money to Y also? So when X is giving some money to Y, will X bear the entire charges? No, or Y has to bear proportionately. Proportional Y also has to bear. But originally X has recorded full amount. So he has to reverse 400 from that. Out of 1,200 expense what you recorded, 400 has to be reversed. So 1/4/2020. Sir, we are making the payment to Y. We are settling Y's account. Y we have to pay, no? Here we are settling small amount now itself. So Y account debit. We are reversing Y. Y is a creditor. So when we make the payment, creditor has to be reversed. Y account debit to bank to discounting charges. This is reversal of discounting charges. This is reversal of discounting charges. Please make a note if you don't remember it. The discounting charges, what you recorded here, this I'm reversing now. How much? To the extent of 400. What is the amount that you pay? 9,600. So you are settling Y's account to the extent of how much? 10,000 rupees. So guys, here 30,000 rupees you're supposed to pay to Y. In that, already 10,000 rupees you have already paid now. So coming back here, 10,000 rupees you have debited Y's account. So minus X paid Y. So what is the balance? 20,000 debit balance, which means what? Sorry, credit balance means what? We have to pay Y. X has to pay balance to Y. Online people, clear or not clear?
Clear, sir.
Very good. Now what happens, guys? Bill is discounted and then we shifted this money to this fellow. Okay. Then what am I supposed to do? On the due date, we are supposed to make the balance payment. Did we make the balance payment? No. So instead of making the balance payment, what did we do? We got a bill of exchange accepted by X. So you have to record this entry now. Because after this, the transactions between Y and bank, that I'm not bothered now. Forget this. So now, guys, Y is sending a bill to X. X is accepting the bill. So for X, it is a bills receivable or payable? For X, payable. So this second bill, payable, is executed on which date? On due date. So sir, 1st April plus 3 month plus 3 grace days. How much? May, June, July. So 4th of July. Correct, no? May, June, July. So 4th of July, guys. So 1st April plus 3 months is 1st July. Plus 3 grace days is 4th of July. So 4th of July is the due date on which 4th of July is the due date on which X is supposed to make the balance payment to Y. And Y is supposed to make the full payment to the banker. But unfortunately, X did not make the payment. Therefore, on the same due date, bill of exchange was accepted by X to Y. So what is the due date? 4th of July 2020. To bill payable. How much? 42,000 rupees. We have to pay this bill to Y, guys. But really, for this 42,000 rupees, see, X is agreed to make this payment 42,000 rupees. Okay. But did Y enjoy 42,000 worth of goods? Did X buy anything from Y? So here, X has not purchased anything, but still he has promised to make the payment to Y. Why? Because he wanted to help Y. So X is temporarily helping Y, which means this money Y has to receive from whom? X. So what will be the entry? Y account debit to bills payable. So 42,000 rupees, which X has to pay to the holder of the bill. This money actually has to come from whom? Y. So on the due date, we have to receive from Y. Then X will make the payment to the holder of the bill. The holder of the bill can be anybody. Doesn't matter to us. So bills payable means the money that I need to pay to the holder of bill. But before that, on the due date, I'm supposed to receive this money from Y. So now, guys, coming back here, you have debited Y 42,000. Y is debited 42,000. Come back to ledger. Debit 42,000 from Y. Now this means, guys, see, this 20,000 credit balance means X has to pay the balance to Y. X has to pay to Y. Now this 42,000 X has to receive from Y. Because X has to pay 20, X has to receive 42. X has to receive 42, X has to pay 20. Receive 42, pay 20. So you net off. Net is balance what? 22,000 rupees. X has to receive or pay? It is debit balance. Debit means asset. So X has to receive from Y the balance 22,000. Guys, we have to receive 42,000 and pay 20. So from 42 what we are receiving, the 20 what I have to pay, no? I'm telling that what I have to pay, you minus it. You pay me the balance. You have to pay me 42. You guys have to pay me 42. 42. I have to pay you 20. So I'm telling you 42 what is supposed to pay, 20 what I'm supposed to pay you, you minus that 20 and you give me a balance 22. Correct, no? So from my net balance what I'm supposed to receive is 22. So now here, guys, come back. The second bill, Y has to pay how much to X? 22,000 to X. So this 22,000 what X will have plus some amount of money X has to contribute by himself, no? That put together he's supposed to make the payment to the banker, but unfortunately become banker. So are you able to understand the storyline now? Is the story clear or not clear? Yes, the second bill on the due date, Y has to pay this money 22,000 to X. X has to receive this 22,000 from Y. The money what X is receiving from Y, plus X will put some money from his pocket, totally has to pay that 100% money to the banker, 42,000 rupees. This is the scene. This should have happened, but unfortunately, X became banker. So coming back here, guys, coming back here. 4th of July, Y has drawn a bill on X. X is accepted and given back. So Y account debit to bills payable. Okay, not okay. So we have recorded the journal entry for this one. We have recorded the journal entry for this one. Now, who is the holder of the bill? After the second entry, who is the holder of the bill? In this, who is the holder of the bill? Guys, we recorded Y account debit to bills payable. Debit the receiver. Y is the receiver. Who is the holder of the bill? X. Y is drawn bill on X. X is accepted and given back. So who is the holder of the bill? Y. So what will Y do now? Discount this with banker. So can I write the discounting entry? Can I write the discounting entry? Because Y is discounting, so in Y's books will record. Correct, no? So Y will discount this with bank. Now after discounting, Y has got some money. That money Y is giving to X. So how much money Y is giving to X? 6,40. So which means X is receiving 6,40 from Y plus discounting charges. So on the due date, that is on the second bill drawn date, the bill is drawn on 4th of July. So on 4/7/2020, we are receiving money from whom? We are receiving from Y. So bank account debit. Sir, how much money are we receiving? Sir, 6,40 we are receiving. Online people nicely sleeping.
Sir,
And
no,
is this
sir.
money coming free of cost? Is this money coming free of cost? No, we have to bear the discounting charges. So discounting charges account debit how much? We calculated 1,260. No, sorry. Yeah, 1,260. X, no. 1,260. Okay. Now who is paying this money? Y. Which means Y, we are receiving from Y. We have to totally receive from Y how much? 22. In that, how much we received? 6,040 plus 1,260. 8,000 you received. Correct, no? Don't minus 6,40. You will say that, sir, 22,000 we have to receive. In that, only 6,40 is received. So from the 22,000 rupees, I'll minus 6,40. Don't do that, please. Here Y's account is settled to the extent of how much? Full 8,000. So actually Y is supposed to pay full 8,000 rupees. If Y is paying full 8,000 rupees, X is supposed to again pay him how much? 1,260 discounting charges. So what is the net amount? 6,740. Guys, 8,000 rupees Y has to pay to X. Y is bearing the discounting charges originally, no. So X has to pay 1,260 from his pocket. So this also is net off and given balance 6,740. So originally Y is settling X by how much amount? 8,000 rupees fully. Kana 8,000 ரூபாய் வந்து Y வந்து X க்கு பே பண்ணனும். திருப்பி பதிலுக்கு வந்து X வந்து Y க்கு 1,260 சார்ஜஸ் திருப்பி கொடுக்கணும்ல. ஏனா ஒரிஜினலி இந்த அமௌண்ட் இருக்கு இல்லையா? This 1890 ஒரிஜினல் சார்ஜஸ் யார் பாக்கெட்ல இருந்து போயிருக்காது? Y ஓட பாக்கெட்ல இருந்து போயிருக்கு. அப்ப நான் X திருப்பி ரீஇம்பர்ஸ் பண்ணனும்ல. சோ Y என்ன சொன்னா நான் 8000 உனக்கு கொடுக்குறேன். நீ திருப்பி 1,260 கொடுக்குற. அது வேண்டாம். நம்ம ரெண்டு பேர் மைனஸ் பண்ணி நான் டிஃபரன்ஸ் அமௌண்ட் கொடுத்துறேன்றான். So actually Y settle பண்ண அமௌண்ட் மொத்த அமௌண்ட் எவ்வளவு? 8000 ரூபாய். Y is settling totally 8,000 rupees. Only outflow is 6,740. So don't focus on 6,740. We are doing Y's account. So Y's account is settled to the extent of 8,000 rupees. Y account is credited by 8,000 rupees. So come back here. Y account is credited by 8,000 rupees. So X has to receive from Y 22,000. In that X received from Y. X received already from Y eவ்வளோ? 8,000. So how much balance to receive? 14,000 balance money X has to receive. This is X received from Y. X received from Y. Yes, language has to be very clear. Language has to be very clear. Now, oh, this is done, people. This is also done. On the due date, what happened? Y is supposed to make the balance payment. How much is the balance payment? X has to receive from Y how much? 14. So what is the balance now? Here it is not 22, it is 14,000. So on the due date, Y was supposed to pay the balance 14 to X. So X will have some total amount. That is in the 14 plus X would amount our pocket to contribute panala. So that he has to totally give to whom? Bank. So if everything would have gone smoothly, account would have closed here. How? Y would have received this money. Sorry, X would have received this balance money. So for receiving this money, one entry. For paying this money, another entry, game over. But problem is, X become bankrupt. X become bankrupt. If X is becoming bankrupt, do you think Y will make this payment to X? Because a person who is becoming bankrupt or insolvent is already having no money. If you give a person having no money, if you give him money, what will he do? He will take it and run away. Correct? No. A person who is pauper, he's not got anything. You go and give him money, he'll take it and run away. So do you think Y will give this 14,000 rupees to X, believing that he'll make the payment to banker? No. So he will not give this money. So this transaction not happening. Now since X has not got any money, obviously he will not make any payment to banker. So banker will run and get this money from whom? Y. 42,000 banker will take from Y. Now Y will in return fight and take from money from whom? X. So we have to pass the fighting entry. ஏமா இதுலயே நமக்கு இங்க தொண்டை சிக்குது. நீ ஐயும் பேங்க்ரப்ட்னு சொன்னீங்கன்னா அப்புறம் வந்து இந்த क्वेश्चन கொலாப்ஸ் ஆயிடும். No, we'll just focus on this, then we'll see what needs to be done. Now guys, Y has made the payment to the banker on due date. Y has not made the payment. Banker has forcefully taken money from Y. Now Y will have to take this money from whom? X in future, which means X has to pay this money to whom now? Y. So what is the entry now? X has to make the payment to Y in future. X has to make the payment to Y in future. So I need to remember to make the payment to Y in future. So anything that I make the payment in future, I need to create a liability to Y's account. So it will be to Y. How much? 42,000. What will you debit? You are giving this money to Y. Okay, later. That is future. But originally this money was supposed to be given to whom? Banker. Who is having the bill? So on the bill வந்து cancel பண்ணணுமா? Because you're not going to make him the payment. So bills payable is currently opened here. So I have to cancel it. I need to cancel it. So to Sorry, bills payable account debit 42,000. So the bills payable account what you opened here, I'm cancelling it here. So bills payable account debit to Y 4242. So now Y account is credited. Y account is credited. So come back. Y account credited by how much? 42,000 rupees. Now what does this mean? 42,000 who has to pay to whom? X has to pay Y. So now guys, 14,000 rupees Y has to pay to X. 42,000 rupees X has to pay to Y. So net who has to pay to whom? Difference. 28,000 rupees positive. Who has to pay to whom? X has to pay to Y. X has to pay Y. 28,000 is payable. Now, is X paying full 28,000 to Y? Is X paying full 28,000 to Y? Sir, 50% only is recoverable. Which means, sir, Y's account is getting settled 14,000 to the extent of payment. X is paying 14,000 rupees. What is balance? 14,000 rupees is transferred to deficiency account. So the entirely balance will become 0. So these two entries I need to pass now. 14 plus 14, 28 ka entry I need to pass. So currently guys, the journal entry what I've recorded so far, the balance is so much. Okay, so I'm just erasing this. To avoid confusion, I'm erasing this. Guys, in the entry port, as on this entry, bills payable to Y, as on this entry, what is the money that we have to pay to Y? 28,000 we have to pay to Y. Now we have to close the accounts. We have to pay to Y. So Y is my liability holder. So I need to close the liability holder. So will I debit Y or credit Y? Debit Y. Very good. So Y account debit how much? Sir, full 28,000 rupees I need to settle. Full 28,000 rupees I need to sell it. How am I settling? Sir, am I paying full money? Sir, 50% only is paid. So 28,000 to 50% is how much? 14,000. So what happened to balance? I don't have money, so I'm transferring to deficiency account, 14,000. So your Y account is debited by how much? 28,000 rupees. So 28,000 debit. So balance will become 0. And after you pass the last entry, Y's balance has to become 0. To check that whether the balance is becoming 0 or not, we are capturing all the journal entry into the Y's ledger. So this Y's account is nothing but ledger. But the format of this ledger is not the T-shaped format. This is a statement format. Why? So that I can do plus and minus easily. Imagine if I do T-shaped ledger, one amount will record in debit. This will be recorded in credit. This will be in debit. So every time I will sit in balance. It will take some time now. To avoid wastage of time, I'm doing below that. So when you do below, it is easy to do plus and minus. To do it faster, to do the balancing faster, I did in the statement format. You can do in ledger format also. But ledger format, what will happen? One amount in debit, another amount in credit. So sit in balance, balance, balance. To avoid that only, I did it in statement format. All in people, hello? Clear or not clear?
Yeah.
Clear,
Now
sir.
guys, with the last entry, Y's account is closed. If you don't believe, what you can do is that Y is being debited at so many places. No, Y is debited here, Y is debited here, Y is debited here. So all the debit, please do the total. Where and all you debited Y, take the calculator, please do the total of debit. Where and all in the journal entry, Y you have debited, that amount you take and all the debits you add. All the debit of Y, please add it. All the debit of Y, please add it. How much? 80,000. Now at so many places we have credited Y. So here if you see Y, 42 credit. Y, 8,000 credit. Y, 30,000 credit. How much? Y's total credit is 80. So plus minus balance is 0. So Y account also closed, guys. So Y account closed. Bills payable is closed. Bills receivable is closed. Anything else is open? Please confirm and tell me. Anything is open pending? Hello. Online people. Anything is pending or everything is closed?
Everything is correct.
Everything is closed. Now, we have to record this in books of Y. In the books of Y, date, particulars, debit rupees, credit rupees. Guys, X is drawing the bill on Y. Y is accepting and giving the bill. So can I say when Y is accepting the bill, for Y, it is bills payable or receivable? Payable. So bills payable is a liability. To record liability, what will I do? Credit. So two bills payable. This bills payable money, how much it is? 30,000 rupees. So Y has to make this payment to whom in future? Holder of the bill. Anybody. It could be banker, it could be endorsee, anybody. Guys, bills payable is the money that I'll make the payment to the person who's holding the bill. Correct, no? But this money which Y has to pay, is it really his liability? Did he enjoy anything that he's making the payment? No. He is accepted this liability to help whom? X. So on the due date, if Y has to make this payment to the holder of the bill, before that he has to receive this money from X. So X account debit. Guys, every time that I'm doing the question, I'm asking a lot of questions. Why am I asking a question? So that this concept goes into your mind, and every time you do the question, you need to ask yourself, if you're having a doubt, should I debit something or should I credit something? If you're having a doubt in this question, you need to ask, okay, in this particular transaction, what is happening? If you keep on asking these questions to you, you will, even if you're getting stuck anywhere, you'll be in position to come out of from that difficulty. Otherwise, do you think for me, is there any necessity for it to repeat? I've told you the concept once. I can stop it then and there. Why am I revising it again and again? So that the question what I'm asking you, that should go very nicely into your head. And during the exam, you should ask yourself the questions. That is when you'll become clear. That's when you'll get the clarity. So 30,000 rupees in future when I get from X, only then I can make the payment to the holder of the bill in the future. So when is the bill executed? 1st of April. This is X account debit. So this is 1/4/2020. Now guys, coming back. So the bill which is drawn and accepted, currently who's the holder of the bill? X is holder of the bill. So X is discounting this bill with the banker. So he's receiving how much? 28,800. Out of 30 is receiving 28,800. So what is the discounting entry? This is a transaction between X and banker. So Y will not record it. So X is recorded and X has recorded and we have recorded here. This has been recorded. Now, once X has received this money, X will give this 9,600 to whom? Y, which means Y will receive this 9,600 from whom? X. So Y is receiving this money from X and he is recording his discounting charges of 400. So on same day, 1/4/2020, we are receiving money from whom? X in the bank account. So bank account debit. How much? 9,600. What is the settlement? X is paying this money. So X is paying total settlement how much? 10,000. So balance 400 is discounting charges. Discounting charges account debit. So guys, we have to receive from X 30,000 rupees, out of which X is settled 10,000 rupees. So we'll parallelly open the statement here. In Y's book, X's account. So originally X was debit 30,000. So plus 30,000 debit. I'm just leaving some space here. Plus 30,000 debit. Y has to receive from X. Correct, no? Y has to receive from X. Then what happened? X you have credited. So credit X 10,000 rupees, which means minus. Which means what? Y has received. Y has received from X. Or X has paid to Y. But we are recording from Y's point of view, no? So from Y's point of view, I'm recording. So balance is how much? So balance Y has to receive balance from X. Y has to receive balance from X. Y has to receive balance from X. All people, you able to follow?
Yes, sir.
So Y has received this money from X. This also I recorded. Next what? Sir, on the due date, Y has to receive the balance. Y has to receive balance how much? 20,000 from Y. But did you get this 20,000 from, 20,000 from X? So did Y get 20,000 from X? This did not happen. This did not happen. Therefore, what did Y do? Y executed a new bill. Y executed a new bill on X, to which X had to accept it on the due date. What is the due date we calculated? 4/7/2020. So guys, are you able to understand the flow? Yes, boss. Which dishonorable entry? I'm coming to that. We are just going in the flow and order. See what happens is now X supposed to pay this money to Y, and Y is supposed to make this payment to the banker. So Y has supposed to make Y has to make this payment to banker. So will we pass this payment entry or not? Y has to make this payment to banker. No. So on the due date, will this entry come or not come?
Yes.
Is it there in textbook?
Yes.
So let's check. In books of Y, X account debit to bill payable. X account debit to bill payable. Bank discounting charges to X. Bank discounting charges to X. Bank discounting charges to X. Then bills receivable to X. Where is the payment entry?
X after this. Is payable to bank.
So one second. On the due date, X is supposed to make the payment of balance 20,000 to Y, so that Y, who is already having 10,000 and plus 20,000, 30,000, so he is supposed to make the payment to banker. Can Y say that just because X is not making me the payment, I cannot make you the payment? Can we say that? Or anywhere in the question have they told you that Y also did not make this payment to the banker? No, which means Y has made this payment to banker. Yes, anywhere in the question did they mention that Y did not make this payment to the banker? Nobody said. So Y has made this payment to banker. So technically, if you ask me, on the due date, the entry should be the payment to the banker. So what is the payment entry? We are making the payment. We are settling the bills payable. So bills payable is paid to the holder of the bill. So I need to cancel the liability. So it will be bills payable account debit to.
Sir, but this should come after they are discounting in bank, no, sir. Only after discounting is first of all receiving the money. Only after.
It's fine. See, a person who is into the business is not relying only on the discounting money. So maybe on the due date, because banker will not wait. See, please understand. Now, what Dinesh is saying is she's got a point. She's telling that for Y to make this payment to banker, Y will draw this bill on X, X has to accept, Y has to go and do a discounting. Then he'll get money. And with that money, he'll make the payment to the banker. But banker has to wait till that long, no? And this process does not happen in one day. So on the due date, what will happen is first Y will make this payment to the banker. Why? No. Wait. To understand this process, first bill on the maturity date, who is supposed to make the payment? Y is supposed to make the payment to the banker. Now, in that, Y is already having 10,000 in his pocket. He has to receive 20,000 from his X. Now, on the due date, X is not paying 20,000. That is the reason Y is drawing a bill on X. X is accepting and giving it back. And Y is now discounting this bill with the banker. Now, Y has got money. With that money, Y will make the payment to banker. But this entire process will take what? Some 2-3 days it will take. Because it doesn't happen in one day. So therefore, for time being, what Y will do is, he will pay this 20,000 from his pocket. And later, when money comes from banker on the second bill, he'll keep it in his pocket. Are you able to follow? So even if you write this entry in the textbook, what they have done the discounting entry first. Here in textbook, what they have done is, Bills acceptable entry is passed. Then bill is discounted. Then the settlement entry is done. Now what I've done here is that I am settling the payment first. Then I will execute a new bill. Then I'll discount this bill. So on the due date, first I'll make the payment to the banker. So bills payable to bank. How much? Bills payable to bank is how much? 30,000 rupees. Tell me guys, out of this 30,000 rupees, 10,000 I already had with me. Can I say 20,000 extra I paid from my pocket? So this money I need to recover from X. So I'm creating a bills payable. So on 4th of July 2020, I am creating a bills receivable. So it is bills receivable account debit to X. How much? 42,000, 42,000. So I got 42,000 worth of bill from whom X. So X is promising to pay this money to some holder of the bill in future. So Y is having the right to receive this 42,000 from X. But for that, did Y enjoy any money? I mean, did Y enjoy any goods? Online people, did Y enjoy any goods for this 42,000? No. So which means
No.
for X to make the payment, guys, for X to make the payment to the banker, that is, I'm talking about second bill. If X has to make this payment to the banker in future, first of all, he has to receive this money from whom? Y. Then he has to make the payment to the banker. So now here, guys, we are creating a liability, this thing saying that, okay, we have to receive, that is bills receivable. No, this money what we have to receive from X to the holder of the bill. First of all, we have to make this payment to X. So which means what? To X liability means what? On the due date, we will make the payment to X first. So once X receives the money, X will give this money to the holder of the bill. So bills receivable to X. Any problem? Any problem here? So this is basically, guys, this is the second bill of entry that is drawn. This is the second bill. Normally when bill is accepted, because Y is receiving the bill accepted. So for Y it is bills receivable. Who is given the acceptance? X. So bills receivable to X. Any problem in this? Online people, any problem in this?
No, sir.
Okay. Now who is the holder of the bill here? Who is holder of the bill here? Y is holding the bill because Y has got the acceptance from X. So Y is holding this bill. Now Y has got this bill discounted from whom? Bank. 42,000 worth of bill gone. 40,000 110 bill money received. So next is discounting. 4th of July 2020. Bank account debit. How much? 40,110. Discounting charge how much? 1,890. To how much? Two bills receivable? 42,000. Understand this very carefully. Yes, X account debit to bills payable. Is this clear? First bill, X is drawn, Y is accepted. So Y is liability. So X to bills payable. Then this bill got discounted. On the maturity date, who was supposed to make the payment to whom? X was supposed to make payment to Y. So Y was supposed to receive the balance 20,000 so that he could make the payment to the banker. But did he receive it? No. So he made the full 30,000 payment from his pocket. Out of 30, 10 already he enjoyed. So he paid from his pocket. But 20 X's amount he paid from his pocket. So for that he is drawing a bill. Y is drawing a bill on X. So Y drawing a bill of 20,000 rupees was more than sufficient. But I don't know what Kujli happened to Y. Y drew bill of 42. So extra 20,000 bill Y is drawn. X also said, okay, fine, you helped me that time. Now I'm helping this time. So here this 42,000 bill, what you've drawn, guys, the ultimate motto is that to recover 20,000 from X and 22,000 rupees, it is a help that is given by X to Y. Here, Y is supposed to draw what bill value? The second bill value, 20,000 draw panna mantu poralla. Because how much is X supposed to pay Y? 20 only. So second bill 20 panirna poirukku. But he had drawn a bill of extra 22,000 rupees. Maybe Y was in need of money. So that doesn't matter to us. You follow the entry. So bills receivable. Y is receiving the asset worth 42. And this money, Y has to pay to X in future 42. That's why liability is also created. Any problem? A liability also is created. Now this bill which is there with Y, he is getting it discounted. So he has received this much money. Any problem? Now people come back here. Come back here. X account debit 30,000. X account credit 10,000 is done. Again here, X account 42,000 is credited. X account 42,000 is credited. Now here, credit 42,000 X means minus. What is the balance? Minus 22,000 rupees. Minus 22,000 rupees. Now 40,000 credit means what? Y has to pay X 42. So here guys, Y has to receive from X. Y has to receive from X 20. Y has to pay to X 42. Y has to receive 20, pay 42. Pay 42, receive 20. So by saying that the amount what I have to pay you 42, from the 20 what you have to pay me, you minus it, and I'll pay you the balance 22. So 22 balance, who has to pay whom? Y has to pay X. So balance Y has to pay X. Any problem? Any problem here? Online people, any problem here?
No, sir.
Okay, now once the bill is discounted, guys, second bill is discounted. What is Y doing? Can I say Y is paying 6740 to X? And to that extent, he has to shift the burden of discounting charges also on X. So X has to make the payment of, Y has to make the payment of 6740 to X, and Y has to from 8 1. So guys, 1890 is the discounting charges. Who originally recorded? Y recorded. In that, out of this 1890, we have to transfer the burden of 1260 on X. So we have to reverse the discounting charges to the extent of 1260. So what will be my next entry? Sir, we are Y is making the payment or receiving the payment? Y is making the payment. So Y is making the payment means to bank. How much money is paying? 6,740. Also, he has to reverse the discounting charges. How much? 1,260. 1,260. So in total, how much of X account is getting settled? X account is getting settled to the extent of 8,000 rupees on 4th of July 2020. So can I say X account debit 4,000, which means debit 8,000. So 8,000 means 22,000 Y has to pay to X. In that, Y paid X 8,000 rupees. Correct, no? Yes, 22,000 who has to pay to whom? Y has to pay to X. In that, how much did Y pay already? 8,000. So how much Y has to more pay? 14,000 credit balance. So Y has to still pay X 14,000 rupees. Okay, not okay? Now, guys, listen to me very carefully. So on the due date, what should have happened? On the due date, Y should have paid the balance 14,000 rupees to whom? X. But will Y make payment to X? No. Why did not make the payment to X? Because X become bankrupt. So Y knew that if I pay this dirty fellow 14,000 rupees, he will not pay to the banker. He'll keep the money with himself and run away. So he didn't want to take a risk. So he did not make this payment to the party X. Now tell me, guys, if X is not having sufficient money, because Y is also not paid, he himself doesn't have money, and moreover, Y also did not pay. Do you think X will make the payment to the banker on the due date? No. So will banker go and fight with X in the court? No. So what will banker do? Recover this money from Y. So can I say Y has made this payment to banker? So what is the entry on the due date? What is the due date? Given calculation? They've given the time period of the second bill? 3 months. Okay. Which means that 4 July plus 3 months means August, September, October. So 4th October plus 10 days is, 3 days is 7th October. So 7th October 2020, guys, to bank, how much money we are paying to bank? 42,000 rupees. Now this money what we are paying to banker, am I supposed to pay this money or am I supposed to receive this money from X and then pay? This 42,000 X is supposed to make the payment. The dirty fellow did not pay the money. That's why banker took from me. So I have to fight and take it from whom? X. So X account debit to bank 42,000, 42,000. So now guys, we have to receive 42,000 from X. So go back to my statement. Debit 42,000. So Y has to receive from X. Now listen to me very carefully. Y has to pay to X. Y has to receive from X. Y has to receive 42 and Y has to pay 14. From 42, 14 what I have to pay, I'll minus, and balance how much receivable? 28,000 is the balance receivable from Y. Sorry, from X. So Y has to receive balance from X. So 28,000 is pending, guys, which means when I finish recording this entry on 7/10, when I finish recording this entry from X, how much is the balance receivable? 28,000 is the balance receivable. Now, in that, half of the money is received, half of the money is not going to be received. So it is a bad debt. Now, the last entry on 7/10/2020. Guys, from X, I'm supposed to receive some amount. For me, X is now debtor or creditor? Because you had received from X. So X is now debtor. So I have to close the debtor's account. So it will be 2X. How much? 28,000. 2X, 28,000. This 28,000 rupees, guys, you are settling X account by receiving how much? 14,000 is received. Guys, I'm closing X's account. X account credit. Credit 28,000. So balance has become 0. But did you receive full 28,000 rupees? Sir, no. In that 14,000 is received in bank. Balance is bad debts. How much? 14,000. Now please cross check your textbook and tell me if all the entries are recorded or not recorded. How is it? Can you see the? Can you feel the difference in level? 11th, Amul baby. Now this guy is grown up with full daddy. Not even identifiable. Seventh one you have to solve. Seventh one is okay. Okay, I'll because when I do a question, I have to do it like fully because for me to get that flow.
You did not pass the dishonor entry, but in scanner dishonor entry is passed.
Okay, we'll see that. Now tell me if you have any problem with this. Now 5% done in the previous question. This question 5 more percentage. 5 more percentage clarity is there. 10% clarity only I'm asking. 10% also not there. No confidence. 10% clarity also is not there. Now tell me, if I give this question, will you not be in position to do this diagram? Diagram can be done. For diagram, no marks. This diagram, based on this diagram, few entries here and there can you do? Few entries. Some 2-3 entries you can do. Then 10% is understood. Okay. The balance to get 100% understanding what you're supposed to do. You keep on practicing. So next question, I'm just giving this as homework. Next question, I'm just giving it as homework. 12th one, try it. This is in the books of Anil. Anil is a drawer of the bill. Like in these two example, X was drawer, no? Here Anil is drawer. So again, X book only they've asked. You do both in X book and Y book. Both Anil book and Sanjay book, you do it. And let me know what is the answer. We'll just cross check. Right? So technically we're done with this topic, guys. So my side conceptual explanation is done. We might have one more classes if you insist that, sir, this for certain questions of the scanner I'm not able to do. So please help us out. So if you ask me that alone I can help you out. For example, Danesh asked, sir, in 7th question, one dishonor entry is pending. I mean, that we've not understood, please help us out. So 7th question I'll do. And here, few people, you asked me the 20, 23, 26 question. So in 23 question, I told you that this is wrong. Twenty-third question is your past examination November 2020 question. See, if you see in this question, it says that Suresh has drawn a bill on Anup, and Anup is getting this. Suresh drawn a bill on Anup. Suresh is getting this bill discounted, and he's remitting 1/3 to Anup. So he's giving how much to Anup? 1/3 to Anup. So balance 2/3 is with whom? Balance 2/3 is with Suresh. So here when the second bill is drawn, so what should be the proportionate charges? 1/3 and 2/3 only. So if you look at this, The discounting charge is 400. Should be balanced 1/3 or 2/3. They have done 3/4. So from that 3/4 I don't know. You see in the question, it is only 1/3. No, they're talking about 1/3. Then here it should be either 1/3 or it should be 2/3. But from nowhere 3/4 is come. So you will take based on the concept what we have discussed, either 1/3 or 2/3, depending on what the person is sharing, what value, and this will undergo a change. Therefore, this will also undergo a change. So the answer from here till the end will undergo a change. So I wanted to work out that way. And if need be, I can do this question also in class. But you try from your end once. Why 300 is correct? If you can explain me why 3/4 you have taken, then I would want to hear. Hmm. Hmm. I know. 26 method, I'll do it. 26 question, I'll do it. Okay, this question also I'll do in the class. So what we'll do is in next class, when we meet, we'll first finish 26 question. Then we'll see 23rd question and see whether 23rd question what they've done is justified or not justified. If 23rd question what they've done is justified, then my question is what we have done today, whether that is justified or not justified.
So this one I actually got in your method. I got some.
You got that answer?
I did 2/3.
Okay, never mind. So even let me also do this 26 question first once by myself, and 23rd question I've already done from my side, right? 26th you also tried from your side. So last class you, sir, homework you told me, sir, 23 you have doubt, 26 you have doubt, and 27. 27 you have doubt, or do you think after what you've done today you can manage 27? Some people say 27 also is doubt. I think 27th question is a normal question. So after what we have done today, you guys can try once by yourself. So I'm giving you time till tomorrow. Do whatever the balance pending question is there. Book back exercise questions, past examination question, MTP, RTP from the scanner. Please complete the remaining questions. And by tomorrow evening, you have to update me telling that finally which questions you have doubt. For example, Ganesh has got doubt at the 7th question, the disarmament entry. And 26th question, I'll solve it. 23rd, if you want, I'll solve it. So like that, which all question or which all part of the entry you want me to solve, let me know. So in one final class, we'll be done with the bills of exchange. So next class, we're meeting on Saturday morning. So Saturday morning, we should be done with this. And Saturday evening, technically, we should start with average due date, which is the next chapter. So Saturday, we're having morning and evening both. Today evening, I'm not having it because I have a program with the inter students where I'll be discussing about the articleship. So I'll be spending time with them. So also you will get the time today and tomorrow to finish the balance questions. So Saturday morning we'll meet, finish off the doubts, finish off the balance questions, and then Saturday evening we'll continue with the average due date. That's a very small topic. So probably in 1 or 2 classes will be done. So average due date, account current, and SOGRA. These 3 are the topics which will be done in probably 6 to 7 hours. Like 2 classes, more than sufficient, or 2.5 classes, more than sufficient. So my target is by next weekend, we should be done with average due date, account current, at least, if possible, SOGRA we should have started. This is the target. Once we have done with SOGRA, then we'll decide whether further should we do BRS or rectification or depreciation. So out of these 3, any one will take up and do it. Okay. Online people, am I okay with what I'm saying?
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Fantastic. So yes, people,
Sir.
that's all. Yes, somebody called me.
Yes, sir. Sir, can you send the scanner in the group?
Then just put a message in group. I'll just reach home and I'll encrypt it and send it back.
Okay, sir.
Done? Chalo, guys. So that's all from my end for today's session, people. I'll see you all in the next class, which is on Saturday morning, 10 or 10:30 a.m. sharp. Until then, bye-bye. See you. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir,